Memories are formed by special moments and unforgettable experiences, and that is what we try to do Mondays to Fridays on your premium family entertainment breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria. Now, we hope that the time you spend joining us every day is as special and unique as the rarest gem in the world. Welcome to another exciting edition of our Wonder Woman Wednesday. Obviously, I am not here alone. I have the fire breather, Ego Yubo. I have the one and only MM. Come on, get it.
Let's raise the roof.
Yes, baby girl. How are you doing this morning?
I'm very well, Tokwe. How are you doing?
I'm fine. I love the hair.
Thank you.
I feel like if I stay long enough, I'll get it.
Thank you. Well, that's going to take you a really long time.
Please.
Really
And do you see that we're in sync today with the Ankara vibe, the hair vibe?
What a coincidence.
I know, right?
So I think I'm the one rubbing off on you.
No. You are the one rubbing off on me. I'm the one rubbing off on you. Good to have you here today. We're definitely going to have a blast. You want to stick with us for the entire 1 hour, 45 minutes. You know we have carefully curated this edition especially for you this Wednesday. It's going to be like no other. And of course, we hope at the end of this edition, we would have been able to brighten your day, give you a spark of sunshine and a burst of energy to go right ahead. We always look at the brighter side of everything, knowing that no matter how dark the tunnel is, trust me, at the end, there'll be light. Probably when they finish, forget. My name is Tokwe Olonio. Now remember, you can use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC to be part of the conversation today. We have very, very interesting topics that we're going to be sharing, and you definitely don't want to miss out on it. Now, if you have to be on the move, guess what? You can catch the show live via our website, tvcentertainment.tv, and if you're on Facebook, we're there as well at TVC Connect. Now, also download our app. We're everywhere, and it's free on iOS and on Google Play Store, and you can follow us. You can take us with you wherever you are going. Now, straight to the highlights of what we have for you. Are you ready? First off, we have Temitope Alao-Sani. Now, she is a registered dietitian and nutritionist with over 5 years of clinical experience. And today on the show, she's going to be talking to us about something very important for our diet and our nutrition, and that is the health and well-being of people and individuals. The matchmaking industry is one in which only the creative and resilient survive. Now, Didi Warmate, a certified coach and relationship expert who has been in the business of matchmaking for over 7 years, is going to be joining us this morning, and she will be talking to us about courtship time limit. How long is too long to be courting? And also we have Tunbosun Aiyedehin, also known as Tubi, an AMVCA 2016 winner, Bond Awards nominee and nominee of the Toronto International Film Festival as Best Supporting Actress, is going to be joining us today on the show to talk about all she has been up to in her entire journey as an actor. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. What the heck are we doing?
Good morning. Now, it's been raining here in Lagos. Let's see what the weather is all about today across the country. Welcome to the news update on Wake Up Nigeria. My name is Tokwe Olonio. We begin this hour with the worsening insecurity in the country. At the last check, every part of the country is experiencing one threat or the other as the number of displaced persons continue to rise. Several communities have been sacked in Zamfara and Niger states, and Governor Abubakar Sani Bello seems helpless as the faces of weeping women and children become a burden. Kaduna State in the northwest has recorded at least 10 deaths this week. Down south, Rivers State is flowing with the blood of security operatives. 10 of them have been killed just this week. In Imo State, the story is not too different as police facilities have been attacked, leaving 2 lifeless bodies of officers. The latest is the killing of 7 persons in Abagana community in Makurdi local government area of Benue State. The Sokoto State Police Command has confirmed an attack on Kware Divisional Police Station. The building was burnt alongside 2 operational vehicles of the division, leading to death of 1 suspected kidnapper. According to the police PRO, a large crowd of people stormed the divisional police station, demanding the release of 2 suspected kidnappers earlier arrested by the command. The crowd eventually overpowered the station guard and thereafter burnt down the station building along with divisional police officers' personal cars. Mr. Sanusi said one of the suspects was killed and the other injured and has been taken to an undisclosed hospital for urgent medical attention. He said no arrest has been made yet, but investigation is ongoing to unravel the identity of those involved in the unfortunate protest. Meanwhile, the APC national leader, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, has dispelled notions making rounds suggesting he has an unhealthy relationship with President Muhammadu Buhari. Rather, he describes himself as one of his ears to the ground, who occasionally compares notes with him on how to move the nation forward. He made these comments after meeting the president behind closed doors at the presidential villa. Asiwaju Tinubu urges Nigerians to give their cooperation to President Buhari, noting that no president or leader will want his nation fractured by tribalism, religious differences, and others.
It's to review generally the perception going on outside there, and equally focus on the security across the country more. If we have more information than we have, but it's air close to the ground, and we ought to exchange views so that a better Nigeria is granted. Coming together to reduce banditry, to move for unity, and be able to bring a better Nigeria to the people. The welfare of our people is extremely important.
Welcome back. Now it is time for us to take a look at the headlines in the papers this morning. And of course, we are starting off with Nigerian Tribune. Autumn blast Buhari alleges president working for the Fulani. Suspected herdsmen attack IDP camps, kill 7. Police dismiss 3 cops over extortion of LASU undergraduate. A photo story here showing the company secretary, FBN Holdings, and a couple of other people at the FBN Holdings general meeting held here in Lagos, Nigeria on Tuesday. Also a photo story at the bottom showing people from the People's Democratic Party, the chairman, Kingsley Esio, during the inauguration of the rehabilitated Oha Orekwe Ovojore Road in Delta State yesterday. Kaduna insists no ransom will be paid to criminals. Nigeria difficult to police, says Osibanjo. Oil price rises as OPEC plus sticks to plan to ease oil output cuts. Moving to, that's all we're taking on Nigerian Tribune. Moving on to the Vanguard, we have insecurity, tearful, Otom reps calls for emergency. Insecurity, senators angry over killings in Nigeria. Photo story of the FBN annual general meeting held yesterday. Revolution series agro processing. Alternative seaport solution to Apapa gridlock, says Lagos government. Anxiety as gunmen burn federal high court in Ebonyi. Darkness awaits us if attacks on schools continue, says Atiku. Moving on from that, we move on to Daily Sun. Still on the headlines this morning, we have insecurity. Buhari seeks external help. Asks U.S. to relocate Africa Command headquarters. Declares state of emergency. Representatives advise the president. Situation in Borno pathetic, says Zulum. A photo story here showing members of civil society group demanding the passage of electoral amendment bill at the National Assembly in Abuja yesterday. Khan accuses Muslim leaders of fueling religious crisis. PFN calls for national dialogue on rising insecurity. COVID-19, Delta orders junior staff to resume work. Moving on from that, that's all we can take on the covers of the headlines of the papers this morning. You definitely want to grab a copy of your favorite newspaper to stay informed on all that is happening in the country. We have so much more on Wake Up Nigeria. But next up is fitness. Stay with us.
Yes. All around the world.
Yes.
Hi.
That's what it is.
Welcome to Titi. We've all been here,
honestly,
waiting for the dynamite to explode. But don't explode.
I'm not exploding yet. Not yet.
Yes.
Not yet. Not yet. But I'm still here.
But I did share something very interesting on the group that Mike and Mazino went all fiery on me. So I thought, of course, we're going to bring it here this morning.
Okay.
So what do you think? I analyzed this from different angles, but the quote was, Can you marry someone who has had an intimate relationship with your sibling? Let's take it from two angles.
Goodness.
Can you marry someone who has had an intimate relationship with your sibling before they met you?
Okay.
Or can you marry someone who has had an intimate relationship with your sibling while you were friends?
Well, you know, when I saw that question, I actually smiled. You know why I smiled?
Why?
Because I find that many people will go sentimental and say, no, it's not possible, it's not this. But I'm looking at it from a different angle.
What angle is that?
Now, the angle I'm looking at it from is this. So you guys had a fantastic relationship, but things didn't work out. And you know this person to be a great, since as a lady I'm speaking now, you know this person to be a great guy. Okay. But somehow things didn't work out. Maybe changing location and all that. And then in like 10 years' time, you hear he's dating your sister and they are now getting married. And then you now flip. Why? You should even be happy that such a good person is the one having your sister. That's the way I'm looking at it.
Mary,
fire.
will always be the one that got away to you.
He has gotten away. No, you move
That's
on.
what I'm saying. So you never get away. You never get over people. The one that gets away.
Auntie, explain this get away. Where they get it?
So there might be that, little, jealousy, that sibling rivalry that might.
But what if
go
they ended in peace?
But it's actually, to me, I don't think there's an issue. There even time memorial, there have been families who ended up handing over wives to siblings. When the
you see that one is special.
No, that one is different.
That's different. That's a whole entire different issue
there's
altogether.
probably something that you found in common. Both of them loved you at one point or another.
That's
so you are what they have in common. So they, yes, I'm serious.
Okay, that is
right so much. They're always talking about you. They're always,
come down, don't spit fire.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
what's your stand then?
Exactly.
Because this one, I just give everybody eye.
So maybe they like the same music you like. Maybe they like the same food you like.
Look for your own.
What if the same fish keeps swimming back? What if it's that fish that will make you happy? What if all the other fish keep breaking your heart?
And then this fish that you friend zoned.
But do you guys know something?
What?
Something very interesting.
What?
Prince Philip. No, not Prince Philip. Prince Charles. Before he married Diana, he dated Diana's older sister.
Yeah.
Well,
and it wasn't working. And it was that Diana's older sister that introduced both of them.
Exactly.
Wow.
That it now eventually worked out. And he married Diana.
Let me talk like a Nigerian. Let me talk like a Nigerian. That's abroad.
Oh, you have a point. It can be delicate. But the thing is, you probably like the same music, like the same food, probably like going to the same places.
And they like the same type of men.
Exactly.
And they end up liking the same man.
Sometimes it just
happens. Say something.
You just keep skirting around. Let's know your opinion on this matter. You still give your own. You are silently pushing to everybody.
Because to be honest, you are the one that is single on this scheme.
I don't understand.
I'm going to call you out.
Skinny. You are the one that are married.
Because
I'm not put skinny in your mouth.
Yes. You are the one that is single on this skinny. So please, let me hear your opinion first.
Let's hear your opinion.
No, hear your opinion.
That's a good point.
Okay. Hear your opinion.
Well, I mean, everybody has their fundamentals and foundations of what they use to inform their decisions in getting into relationships.
No? I think let's summarize.
So, for me to make my decision on getting into a relationship with an individual, I'm going to for them to just say, let's move on.
Okay. Wow. Okay. So that one, that's one that you talk about.
Yes.
He moves on and then dates your sister.
Shades of them
or your niece.
Which niece?
Okay, so we have your answer now. It is a no. Is it a no for you?
No, I mean,
it's not a no for me.
It's a no for me.
It's a no for It's a no for
It's a no for me.
It is a yes. In fact,
I've not said it's a no.
So let me tell you when it will be a. So wait, it can be a yes for me if I'm happily married to somebody else.
So if you're not happily married,
then what if he now moves on and becomes the new Dangote?
Wow.
It should be the Dangote. I'll remind you that, excuse you, remember there was a time in your life that was your beginning and end.
So what? You now have shares in the new Dangote.
You said you are not yes or no. Which one are you?
Well, we are going on a break now.
See, we're going on a break,
we
but
will
you
still discuss this matter. Cannot escape.
I feel
You will not. Not.
We're going on a break. Remember to use the hashtag #WakeUpNigeria on TVC. Be a part of the conversation. Will you date someone your sibling has had a relationship with?
Intimate
relationship with.
Intimacy. Wow.
If I give you backhand.
Welcome back. So we're going to be having an interesting conversation today. We have Simpson Emmanuel, who is a quality health, safety, and environment professional with technical hands-on experience in field operations, things like power, construction, telecoms, production, audit, you know, those kind of things. Simpson manages human behavior towards achieving a positive quality health, security, safety, and environmental culture in the workplace. You're welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
All right, so today is World International Health and Safety Day.
At work.
At work.
Yes.
At work.
Yes.
So a lot of people think about their health and safety maybe when they're at home or maybe on the road, maybe even just crossing the street. And of course, with COVID, everybody's been masking up now and trying to stay safe. So why is it essential for there to be proper health and safety practices in the workplace?
Okay, thank you very much. I would start from saying that we have this myth at the workplace that safety begins here, as coming into the workplace.
Okay.
But let me say that it's absolutely wrong, kind of, to me, because safety starts with you in your house.
Okay.
As little as the water pouring on the floor and you mopping it up.
Okay.
You're trying to guide yourself from sleeping. You turning off your electrical thing for leaving the house. Also, you're doing safety.
Okay.
Putting off your gas cylinder outside the kitchen is part of the safety. So safety starts in your living room, in your in the bedroom, as the case may be, anywhere before you even get to the workplace.
Okay.
Yeah. So at the workplace, you are already prepared against injury, against harm. So that's why we're talking about this week. That we want you to come to work and then go back home the same way you came, free of injury, free of accidents, free of any harm at work.
Okay, so now from your experience,
Okay.
which type of organizations take health and safety the most seriously?
Ooh. From my experience, I think oil and gas.
Oil and gas.
Yeah, oil and gas, then telecom.
Oh, wow, okay.
Then construction, as the case may be.
Why do you think they take extra care?
Okay, fine. You know, we call something a risk assessment. The risk at the oil and gas is much more higher than maybe other areas of the workplace.
Okay.
So the workers at the oil and gas tend to be much more conscious of the health of their staff because they work offshore. So
very true.
Then the risk is high.
So let's talk a bit about the roles. So now, as an employer or an employee, let's start with employers. Okay. What is their role in this improvement of health and safety culture at the workplace?
Okay. Firstly, the employer should, first of all, imbibe the culture, so the safety culture. In every organization, we have safety professionals there trying to give them knowledge, trying to train them on safe work practices.
Okay.
So the onus lies on an employer to take up this safety culture. Because there are always meetings, safety briefings, toolbox meetings, HSE meetings, health safety and environment meetings every day. So as a worker, you need to take up, safety begins with you as a worker.
Okay.
Make sure that you are protected. Make sure you are not exposed to harm, as the case may be. To obey all the safety rules at work. So the safety starts with you as an employer.
All right, so I'm going to, flip it now. Okay. We've talked about the employers. What about the employees? What are those very key things that you've probably noted employers actually make mistakes on?
Fine. Employers don't really take the safety of their workers in high esteem, as the case may be. They don't do that. It's pertinent for the employers to provide a safe work environment for them, in as much as providing their tools to work with. Okay. There's something called the PPEs, the personal protective equipment for workers. This will really protect the workers from any form of injuries, harm, or accident at work. But firstly, they should be able to hold at high esteem the occupational health safety management system of the organization. Okay. Yes, so it's just their own responsibility to do that, to make sure that the workers are free from harm, injuries, or accidents while they're working.
Okay, so let's talk a bit about awareness. Now, health and safety isn't something that we hear every day, and in my opinion, it should be a little more than, than what we're hearing now. But what can companies do to increase the level of awareness?
Okay, companies should, as I said earlier on, the health and safety culture is really, it's been reduced in Nigeria, as the case may be. So the employers should take it at high esteem. They should bring in what I call these rules and policies that will favor the workers. It starts from the government. Yeah, governments in Nigeria are not really doing safety as the case may be. It's really, really reduced. So the government should be able to increase the awareness of safety. And include it in their monthly budget also. So at least the employer should be able to benefit from the government policies, then now cascade it down to the workers at work.
Okay, so I heard you say policies, guidelines, rules, regulations. Do you think health and safety is something that if someone breaks a rule, they should be disciplined for it? Do you think it's that serious?
Absolutely, yes. I have a friend that practices health and safety in other countries aside Nigeria, and it's a big deal. It's a business. It's a serious. Any government that wants to thrive, Nigeria is really missing a lot by not getting themselves involved in health and safety. It's a very big source of revenue. We probably we don't have to go to that now, but it's a big source of revenue. If the government should invest in health and safety, it's going to be a very big revenue to them, but they don't know.
I have to say a big thank you to you, Emmanuel Simpson, for coming to talk to us. It is World Health and Safety Day at the workplace. Make sure you take extra care today with whatever you're doing. You know it's a bit rainy out there. Don't let the water by the doorway stay there. You never know, someone could slip over it. That's the tip I have for you right now, but there should be much more on our social media pages. Just use our hashtag #WakeUpNigeria on TVC. We're going to be handing it over now to MM in the kitchen. All right, so I know MM is looking forward to talking about this dish with all glee. Have you seen the smile on her face? Goodness me. I can't wait. Now, I know that the chef has already put out a spread. Now, chef, you need to tell us exactly what you're working on today.
Some people still call it ukodo.
Okay.
So, but it's called yam pepper soup in English language.
Yam pepper soup.
Yes, that's what we're making this morning.
So, can you tell us which area of Nigeria this comes from?
Oh, Delta States.
Delta State.
Yes, the Niger Delta people. We actually eat this a lot. Especially shakiris, urobos, different types around the Delta. We eat this very well.
Okay. So let's talk about it. All right. So just tell us exactly what's happening and tell us the process of making this particular dish.
Okay, I'm going to be using yam and plantain mixed together with goat's meat, dried fish. I have grinded crayfish here and big crayfish, dry pepper seasoning. Then I'm going to be using pepper soup spice and all the native salt to be making it. Then goat's meat with the dried fish.
All right.
I have water already boiling on the fire now. So I'll be adding now pepper into it.
Okay. And you need a spoon?
Yes,
pepper?
please.
Great.
Okay. That. The pepper goes in first. Then I'm going to be adding the pepper soup spice. For me, I cook my beef as I'm cooking the pepper and the spice, so the taste and everything will go in. So I'm going to be putting that.
Okay.
So go ahead. Then I'll be adding a bit of seasoning. Then I'll like to cook. While this is boiling a bit, then I'll add the plantain.
So what's next after that?
Then I'll be adding the yam and the plantain while this is cooking. I'll just allow this to cook for like 5-10 minutes because of the beef. Then I'll add in the the yam and the plantain, and I like to cook too. That's how I'll be doing.
Now it sounds like it's going to be a very tasty one. Can't wait to taste it myself. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be taking a quick break and be back with more.
Welcome back to the show, and this morning we are joined by Temitope Alaosani, a registered dietitian and nutritionist with over 5 years clinical experience in the dietetics profession and a proven track record in evidence-based nutrition education and counseling. She is a full member of the Nutrition Society of Nigeria and the Association of Nigerian Dietitians. Tope is passionate about improving the health and well-being of people and individuals, and today we will be talking about nutrition, preconception, and fertility. Good morning, Tope.
Hi, good morning.
Hi, good to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
I mean, before we came on air, we're talking about the topic, and my colleagues are already going. They were going.
Yes.
Yes. So, nutrition, preconception, and fertility. I'm very moved to ask this question. Are you saying that before a lady starts thinking of conceiving, she should check out her nutrition?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. Okay. And, you know, in the society we find ourselves today, that's not common.
Yes.
And I feel like that's part of why we have such a high or alarming rate of infertility among, you know, couples, because many people are not paying attention to the stage that they are before they get to the stage where they, you know, are trying to, you know, have babies or trying to conceive. The preconception stage is so important because the conception stage actually depends on what happens during the preconception stage. Okay. Many women are, you know, unaware of certain conditions that they have until they start to, you know, try to conceive. Yes. Many women are deficient in iron and they do not know. Many women are, you know, living with nutrition-related diseases like PCOS. Yes. They do not even know about it until they get to the point where they're trying to, you know, have a baby, and then they're like, okay, let's take this test and that test. But, you know, if you're already putting into consideration your nutrition, which obviously puts in your weight into consideration, you know, it puts in other related, you know, issues that could arise. If you're already tackling it before you get to the point where you're trying to conceive, it could actually make a huge difference. Because at that time, you're already making efforts, you know, even before you get there. Exactly.
Now, I want us to be very detailed about this, but we don't have so much time, so I'm just going to give you like pointers so you direct it. So now, for a lady who is thinking that, okay, I'm going to want to try to conceive in the next 6 months. So now we're in the preconception phase. So what are the things she needs to add to her diet? What are the things she needs to be careful about in her diet, just so that for a base preparation, she needs these basics? What are the things?
Yes. So it all comes back to, you know, healthy eating, a holistic, you know, approach. So that's not the stage where you want to try to eliminate a certain, you know, class of food or a certain type of food because you read something about it or because it works for somebody. You want to actually embrace a balanced diet. You want to eat your fiber. You want to eat your nuts and seeds. You want to also consider, you know, even testing yourselves for, you know, this, I mean, something like PCOS, like I mentioned. So many women are also living in fibroids and they do not know. Yes. But when you're eating foods that are, you know, anti-inflammatory, things like, you know, your ginger, your garlic, you're eating those things as a routine. You're eating it as food. You don't have to now, you know, start to take it as medicine, because at that point, you know, you already know that, okay, this is something that you've been eating. So eating, you know, your nuts and seeds, making room for it in your, you know, regular rice, in your desserts and, you know, everything like that.
So by nuts and seeds, you're referring to the almonds, the pistachios and the rest?
Cashew nuts, you know, groundnuts. You know, make room for all those things, including, you know, your regular foods. And, of course, fruits and vegetables. We cannot overemphasize it. Colors, I always say colors. Try to look for ways to put colors in your plate. When you're eating rice, is white. When you're eating yam, is white. Get a way to get the peppers in it. It's red. Get a way to get, you know, your cucumbers, your oranges in between meals. It really, really helps a lot.
Okay, now, it's good that you brought PCOS, because I do have friends who have discovered this, and fibroids as well, and it's like an alarming rate now in our society. So now let's assume that we've gotten to the point where this has been discovered, and now this lady is trying to conceive. How do you work in your nutrition at this point? How do you improve your diet to be able to conceive, considering all these factors that are already on the line?
Yes. Okay, so when it comes to things like that, it's highly individualized, because what works for A might not necessarily work for B. But then it's important, like I said, to, you know, consider if you have somebody who has, high blood sugar or, things that have to do with sugar, you want to look at your diet in that, in that guide, in that light. You want to, check out foods that, have lesser glycemic index, things that are high in fiber that will keep you full. And if you are overweight, you want to try to consider losing some weight. I mean, it's not about the more work, more results. No, you want to look at where, you are able to strike a balance, where your body is able to function optimally. For fibroids, I mean, it's something that has to do with inflammation. Again, you want to try to include all those anti-inflammatory foods like your ginger, your turmeric. You want to try to include all those things in your diet, in your food, while you're cooking, into your smoothies. Just try to look for a way to get them into your food. It helps a lot.
Okay, well, this has been really educative. Thank you so much, Dr. And I hope we're still having you next week. Please, we have to have you because we need to talk extensively about this. But just for the benefits of people that are watching, before we let you go. Now let's do. You know how I like to do an ideal meal.
Yeah.
Now, so an ideal meal for a lady who is at the preconception stage. So what should an ideal meal be? I know you said balanced diet, but just give us like beans, vegetable, this. Let's have an idea.
Okay. So that will also again depend on that individual because sometimes adequacies vary.
Okay.
Some people are, deficient in, say, iron. Now, this kind of people, they need to make sure that they are including, when they're including vegetables, you want to choose those ones that are higher in iron. When you're taking fluids, for instance, something like Zobo, I mean, you want to try to, take Zobo sometimes instead of your sugar-specific beverage. And it also has vitamin C. So that way it helps you to absorb the iron that, is coming from your food. So for an adequate meal, you want to look at your carbs, of course. You want to look at your healthy carbs, your complex carbs. Fruits, vegetables, even rice. I mean, that's also fine. You want to add some, pulses, legumes like beans, different kinds of beans. Doesn't even have to be the brown beans. Then you also want to make room for your protein, your plant protein, your meat, your eggs, or even plant proteins, not just animal proteins. Yes. So you want to look at those things, and then of course healthy fats. You want to cook with little amount of fat, and of course choose from the ones that are unsaturated instead of saturated. Yes.
Thank you so much, Tokwe. It's always a pleasure having you. I am sure you have learned more than a thing or two about diet, preconception, and fertility. You can go on our YouTube page to grab more information about this, or drop your comments on our Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram at TVC Connect. But we have MM standing by in the kitchen.
Thank you very much. Yes, with me in the kitchen this morning is Chef Alero. And this morning we are making yam pepper soup. And it's cooking already, but we'll run through the ingredients if you're just joining us. Please, over to you.
Okay, cooking already is the goat's meat.
Well, let's open it up so the people can see
the goat's meat, and I've added the pepper soup spice, the pepper soup spice and dry pepper with the goat's meat. That's how it's cooking now.
Okay.
Then this is yam, this is plantain. We have dried fish. We have native salt, then crayfish, then the grinded crayfish, then seasoning. So now we have...
And then our dry fish.
Then our dry fish, I said
that. On your screen are the ingredients, so pay attention, grab a pen and paper if you have to. It's something that you'd like to try out this morning. This rainy, cold morning. Yes. And... so you called it epuru.
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 Yes, Shakiri people call it epuru.
Epuru.
Then other people from Still Delta, they call it ukodo.
Yes, I know ukodo. Never heard of epuru before, but well, we learn every day.
Every day, yes, we do.
And I see that our goat's meat is cooking up nicely.
Yes.
Yeah. And then, looking at this particular ingredients, I don't know. We've been trying to figure out what the English name is. So if you're watching right now and you know what the English name of this is, please let us know in our comment sections at all our social media platforms at TVC Connect, especially on Instagram, guys. Look at it closely. She calls it Igidije, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but we've been trying to wrap our head around what the English name is. I see it every single time, and it's quite an essential ingredient for your pepper soup. Interestingly, we don't know the English name, but it works really, 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 really nice with this recipe this morning. And so when our goat's meat is ready. What's next?
I'm going to add the yam and the plantain to it.
Okay.
Then I add the crayfish and a bit of native salt.
Then the native salt, what role does it play in this meal?
It has its own role. It makes it more tastier if you get the local taste of it.
Is it like ogiri?
Yes. Like what you call ogiri. Yes.
Okay. And then please note, for the unripe for the plantains, we're using unripe plantains,
yes.
not the ripe one, guys. Because the unripe one has a certain flavor that it also gives to your pepper soup.
It does.
And this dry fish, though, it looks like the village dry fish. Like this dried fish that comes from the natives of the natives.
We call it ejalso.
Ejalso.
Ejalso is a very dry word.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Okay. It's quite interesting. I look like beef. Looks like something you take with Gary. What? It's going to take it to a whole new level, man. But, wow, interesting recipe this morning. Pretty excited about this breakfast. Like I said, it's a rainy, cold morning, and what better way to enjoy the day than starting it with yam pepper soup. Chef Alero, you came prepared for us. And it's okay. I mean, like this is really, really nice. So
let me add the yam now.
Okay, you want to add the yam?
Yes,
okay, go
so
ahead.
that it cooks together.
Okay, with the goat's meat.
Yes.
Yeah. And I like have all that flavor in with the goat's meat and then the yam. Nice and tasty. Beautiful. All right. So we're just going to allow all of that cook in. We have our pepper soup spice in there. We have our salt. We have our seasoning. And I think we're going to add in our dry fish now, right?
Yes.
Great. Fantastic stuff happening here on the show, guys. Please stay with us. We'll be right back.
It is funny how time flies when you're having such a good time. Well, welcome to the second lap of the #1 family breakfast show on television. Yes, it is Wake Up Nigeria, and it is the Wonder Women Wednesday. Yes, we have a lot lined up for you for the next 45 minutes. I'd like to call it the power-packed 45 minutes because things can become a thing that makes you a legend. I'm trying to be smart here. And we're so glad that you have decided to join us. It is only possible for us to do this because of you. Thank you for joining us again. Of course, I have in the kitchen my fire breather, Ego Ibom, hoo.
So, remember, I was asking what the English name for this is, and I finally found out. Yes, it is called selling pepper. Yes.
Selling pepper.
So yeah, you learnt it first on Wake Up Nigeria if you didn't know, and you're calling it Iggy DJ. Tell them that you learnt on Wake Up Nigeria. It's called selling pepper.
Okay, I am selling some pepper with so much excitement in the air. There's lots to look out for and the rest of this exciting Wednesday edition of the show. My name is Tokwe Olonio. Now remember, you can use the hashtag #WakeUpNigeria on TVC across all our social media platforms to be a part of the conversation. Remember at the Coffee Gist, we already started talking about, can you marry someone who has had an intimate relationship with your sibling? kind of found a way to not give us our opinion, but she's definitely going to be giving us in the second banter. Now, what do we have in the highlights? Before that, remember you can be a part of the show if you're going to have to be on the move. You can join us via our website, tvcentertainment.tv, and we're also live on Facebook. Just go to your search column, look for TVC Connect. We are right there. If you have to be on the move still, you can download our app. It's available on Android and iOS stores, TVC Connect. We want to be with you everywhere you go. You do not even have to pay for this service. What do we have for you? Definitely don't want to go anywhere but start. Now, the matchmaking industry is one which only the creative and resilient survive. Now, we're meeting Didi Warmate, and she's going to be talking to us today about one thing that is very important in the world of dating. I know there's so many questions we have about people who are going into relationship, but today we're talking about the time limit on courtship. How long is too long to be courting? And finally, we will be joined by Tunbosun Aiyedehin, also known as Tubi, an AFVCA winner, Bond Awards nominee, and 2020 nominee in the Toronto International Film Festival. She's going to be joining us this morning, and we'll be talking about a lot of things that she's experienced in the course of her journey.
All right.
Hello.
Great to be back on the couch.
So you were, okay.
Yeah, no, we were just talking about something before the, before the highlights came up. And Tokwe is going to be handling this one.
It's not so
because she's still on single street for now.
Wow, do you remember? Fine, I'll start looking for things that are married
For now.
Married street.
Why are you guys going on and on about this single thing?
Don't mind them, like they're putting me up for adverts.
It's just like
it's
this dating
advert,
topic
it's
for
advertising.
today. Like, how long is too long? You're supposed to date for the rest of your life.
Yes. Like you mean before you're married, still
In fact, it's when you marry that courtship starts.
Okay, put it
Or
like
else
that.
there will be no spice.
But courtship is work.
Experience.
Courtship is work. It's a lot of work, especially when you want to, you know, invest in another person, invest your time and energy and emotions in another person. It's a lot of work for some people. They can't just let go of some things from the past and move on, especially if maybe they've had a bad experience with dating someone before. For instance, maybe if they saw something untoward on someone's phone before, the next person they date, they're always, their neck is long. They want
Do
to
you remember that photo of Beyonce?
Yes.
At the basketball game.
I'm looking at if Beyonce can be checking Jay-Z's phone, and who are you? Check before.
And I have quite a photographic memory. Okay, we have to go on a
wow.
Yes, we have to go for
sure.
fun
We have to go
fact.
on a quick break now. Fun fact is next.
Thank you for joining us again. My name is Tokwe Olonio. We begin the news with the worsening insecurity in the country. At the last check, every part of the country is experiencing one threat or the other as the number of displaced persons continue to rise. Several communities have been sacked in Zamfara and Niger states, and Governor Abubakar Sani Bello seems helpless as the faces of weeping women and children become a burden. Kaduna State in the northwest has recorded at least 10 deaths this week. Down south, Rivers State is flowing with the blood of security operatives. 10 of them have been killed just this week. In Imo State, the story is not too different as police facilities have been attacked, leaving 2 lifeless bodies of officers. The latest is the killing of 7 persons in Abagana community in Makurdi, local government area of Benue State. Now in Sokoto State, the Sokoto State Police Command has confirmed an attack on the Kware Divisional Police Station. The building was burnt alongside 2 operational vehicles of the division, leading to death of 1 suspected kidnapper. According to the police PRO, a large crowd of people stormed the divisional police station, demanding the release of 2 suspected kidnappers earlier arrested by the command. The crowd eventually overpowered the station guard and thereafter burnt down the station building, along with divisional police officers' personal cars. Mr. Sanusi said one of the suspects was killed and the other injured and has been taken to an undisclosed hospital for urgent medical attention. He said no arrest has been made yet, but investigation is ongoing to unravel the identity of those involved in the unfortunate protest. Meanwhile, the APC national leader Asiwaju Bola Tinubu has dispelled notions making rounds suggesting he has an unhealthy relationship with President Muhammadu Buhari. Rather, he describes himself as one of his ears to the ground, who occasionally compares notes with him on how to move the nation forward. He made these comments after meeting the president behind closed doors at the presidential villa. Asiwaju Tinubu urges Nigerians to give their cooperation to President Buhari, noting that no president or leader will want his nation fractured by tribalism, religious differences, and others.
It's to review generally the perception going on outside there and equally focus on the security across the country more. If we have more information than we have, but it's air close to the ground. And we ought to exchange views so that a better Nigeria is granted. Coming together to reduce banditry, to move for unity and be able to bring a better Nigeria to the people. The welfare of our people is extremely important.
Next up, we have the matchmaker herself. And I know so many of us have been waiting to delve into the conversation, but of course we can't do that without introducing her. Now, she's one that I would say is very resilient with her creative skills, and she is Didi Edith. Now, a certified coach, a relationship expert for Lagos Matchmaker, who has been in the business of matchmaking for over 7 years. Now, with a first degree in economics from Harvard University and master's in international strategy from University of St. Andrews, it is a wonder she ventured into this industry. But she will be talking today to us about courtship time limit. How long is too long to be courting? Good morning.
Morning.
Good to have you here.
Thank you for
Now,
having
it's so important that we talk about this because some people just put a ring on your finger and keep you for years. So let me ask first, how many years or how many months is the ideal time to court?
Courting in the sense of the fact that you're from dating to getting engaged.
Engaged, yes.
Yes. So ideally, in my opinion, I think 1 to 3 years is okay.
1 to 3 years?
Yeah. Some people feel like that's too short. Like, you know, I don't get to know the person enough. But then is 10 years even enough? You know, people are married and still getting to know each other. So it's not the length of time, you know, that matters. And how do you even measure the length of time in courtship? Is it by the years or by, you know, how often you see each other? Because you could find a couple in a long-distance relationship for 5 years, and they've probably physically met maybe 70 times. And then another couple, 1 year, and they've met like 300 times.
Yeah.
So, you know, what couple would you say is, you know, has courted longer? So you can't really measure it in terms of length of, you know, years or physically, you know. So basically, I don't think the length of courtship is that important.
Ooh, okay.
But I think it should be kept, you know, short.
Short. Okay, so you're saying that now the length of courtship is not that important if there's physical presence.
Yes.
If you're in separate countries or separate states, the length of courtship, being together, is important.
Yes. Actually, what you do in courtship is more important than the time. You know. Yes. So there are other things to focus on, as opposed to focusing on, you know, how long you've known each other. Yeah. Because you can know each other for like 5 years and not enough, or not as much as someone that's, you know, known each other for 1 year.
Yeah, because, I mean, I was talking to a friend and she said that she has this friend, they were just friends, and now they're dating. They've been friends for, I think, 5 years, and now they're dating. It feels like 2 different people. So what does that mean? Because how can you be friends for someone for 5 years, and now that you're dating, it's different? What makes it different?
Because now you're seeing a different part of them. You're seeing the different aspects. And that's why the length of courtship isn't important. If not, she would have included the 5 years as time spent, you know.
Yeah.
But there are other things that you focus on when courting. So, like, what's this person like when you travel together? You know, so some people stay 5 years, never travel together, never have an argument. Those are important things that should be focused on in courtship, as opposed to the time spent.
You know, something weird came to my mind now. So imagine courting for 3 years and then you haven't had an argument. Are you saying that the girl or someone should instigate an argument so we just know how you are post-argument?
Somehow the argument is going to happen when you're like married. You're going to actually have conflicts and stuff. So you need to have an idea of how you're going to resolve that conflict. Is one person the kind of person that's going to walk out? Is the other person the type that would just, you know, keep malice? You need to just kind of have an idea. I don't know if someone will instigate. But somehow it has to come up.
Okay. Now, for benefits of people who are progressing to courting in a relationship, now that's getting engaged pre-marriage. Now, what are the things that you would advise that are like probably the go-to steps of things they need to do to enable their courtship period to be solid and grounded, to give them the basic information that they need for their partner so they can see all the signs before they get married?
I think I'm glad now, like these days, we have like pre-marital counselors. Yes. So I like the fact that people go for that because they help you see things. And, you know, when you're in love, you're not really looking at all the extra, but they help you focus and look at how the other person spends their money. What's their idea of how to balance family and work? Those things that you might not look at normally because you're just in love, they help you kind of, you know, take a look at it and see if it aligns with the kind of things you want.
Okay. Now, talking about aligning with what you want and in courting, how do you step back because, you know, it's a different thing when you're talking about yourself and then now you have to infuse or add someone else to your life. Now, as a matchmaker, you've been doing this for years. So in your experience, how do you advise people to be able to add someone else to all the things that you're carrying on your head? How do you advise people to do that?
I mean, understanding that this person is totally different from you. So, you know, the way your relationship is work, which it is. Because even your siblings that you grew up with, the same home, the same parents, you have arguments with, you don't see eye to eye a lot of times. So, you know, talk less of someone that you have no has experience with.
Yeah.
So you have to just make that constant effort, you know, there are courses to take, counseling, all that, to be able to understand how to incorporate this person into your life.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why some people get too comfortable in their singlehood, and it's really hard for them to get someone else in. I was talking to a friend that was like, he can't share his space with any lady, you know. Like, once he hangs out with ladies, she has to, like, go home. Or, yeah, so some people can't. But, I mean, being aware and being able and willing to work on it is something that, you know, would benefit them.
Okay, so that before I let you go, I want to talk about the matchmaker as itself. Now, a lot of people are trying to meet people. Now, what are the challenges that you have faced in the matchmaking business for people who are trying to meet up?
People are very stuck in their ways. So, you know, and even me being a single person, learning about yourself, constantly working on being a better version of yourself is something people are learning to do now. But usually people are like really stuck. They want what they want. Yeah. You know, at the time they want it.
Is there anything wrong in wanting what you want? Really?
No, but wanting what you want, but being able to compromise as well makes sense.
But what about when you want what you want, and then the point where you need to compromise is not particularly good for you? What do you now do in this regard?
Yeah, if it's not good for you, then it makes sense. But there are some compromises that are reasonable, but people refuse. You know, people want that perfect person.
Yes.
So they don't want to compromise on anything at all. So I think being able to, you know, be able to tell when you should compromise or not.
Yeah.
In some cases, some people are, you know, they get into domestic violence and they think, oh, this is something I should compromise on.
So you advise that you shouldn't compromise on domestic violence?
Oh, no, you should know what the things to not compromise on. And that's something that you shouldn't.
Okay.
You know, so I think you should be aware of, oh, is this something I can compromise on, you know, or not?
Yeah.
You should be able to, you know, define that for yourself.
Okay, then. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. It was
Thank
nice
you.
chatting with you. But that's all we can take on this segment. We're going on a break. And when we come back, we have our last guest for the last interesting chat. You definitely want to stay tuned because we will be right back.
Welcome back. You're still on to Wake Up Nigeria. And, of course, it's time for our final guest on the show.
Yes. And this time, today, we have the delectable Tunbosun Aiyedehin, a.k.a. Tubi. She is an AMVCA 2016 winner, a 2019 BON Awards nominee, and a 2020 nominee in the Toronto International Film Festival as a Best Supporting Actress on all platforms. The lead actress in A Day with Death, Gary. Best short film, AMVCA 2016, produced and directed by Asafa Oluseyi. She has had the passion for acting and singing right from her early days in school. And that passion is paying off.
Right, it is. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
All right, so let's talk about your journey so far. But first, I would like to know, how was it transitioning? I mean, you're known as a thespian. That transition into Nollywood, into, you know, mainstream acting. Tell us about it.
Well, going on a transition isn't such, for me, isn't such a challenge. Okay. I must say it was easy. I think I have the ability to actually go in and go out. Okay. So it's a gift, I must say. I think God has just been good to me. And that's how I've been able to just work in and out. It's been easy. And along the line, I always try to remind myself that I should try and make sure I'm back on the stage about once a year. Because for me, it helps retention. And then it helps to remind me of what my body language should be for stage, which is applicable for me to TV. But then you can't do so much on TV as you would do on stage. On TV, less is more. But then it works for me. And where I've not been able to have the opportunity as at now, because workload has suddenly piled, I try to make sure that for some reason I'm still close to something that makes me know I'm on the stage. And so transitioning is, it's been easy for me.
So you talk about workload now. When we talk about workload, we know quite well that you're doing a lot of TV now, so much so that you have to really squeeze in the stage time. So which of it is actually giving you the more workload right now?
It's TV, honestly. It's TV. I tend to want to go to stage. So I see, okay, come for this audition. I want to go. And that's like a tomorrow. Then I get a call. You're needed tomorrow. to come to TV.
Wow.
And I'm saying, okay, I think we're kind of used to fire brigade around here, so let's work with this fire brigade and see what's going on. So we'll send the script. So I find myself reading till about 4 a.m. I'm trying to get in the story, and I have to be on set by maybe 11.
Wow.
That's the reason why I can risk 4 a.m. If not, I'm going to go to bed immediately and go and read whatever I have to read there, and then we'll kill it by His grace. I usually get to kill it. And you now find out that in all of this, one is coming after the other. Yeah. While you're on one, the tendency is to get a call that you're needed on another. Or while you're on that one, somebody is saying, Auntie, please, I need you for another. So, you know, it's just like it's some ripple that just keeps expanding for me.
But it's good. It means you're sought after.
Yes.
Yeah. And it also means you've got lots of work to do. Right? And you've got to be on top of it.
Yes. Let's talk about, I've seen you, play so many characters that has actually showed your range as an actor. But tell us, how has the journey been? I mean, I recently auditioned for a particular character, and staying in that character was really, really tough. So please, share that experience with me.
You see, somebody has asked me something similar to this. Okay, I'll tell you what the person said to me. The person said, Auntie, please, can you explain to me how you pull off a daisy in, what's that sound? It's a Crazy World. And then I see you pulling off some office manager trying to speak the kind of English you probably know how to speak. I said, look, if I say anything beyond what I mean to say now, I'll be lying to you. I simply just know that I have the ability to actually run through all of these characters. I feel you when you say you couldn't stay in one character for too long. And trust me, it's not easy. The tendency is you're staying in that character. If every situation around you wants to help you and somebody else calls you to come and play another character somewhere else, you still have this one here that you're contending with. You have the other one you want to go and start playing. Now, if you find yourself on this turf where you're probably going to be playing a Hausa chick, and here you're playing a Yoruba chick, trust me, if you don't know how to manage the two,
you end up sounding Hausa for the Yoruba.
Yes, you're going to find
going to be a conflict.
Yes, so maybe that conflict in characters for you. So you say, I don't fool anybody by saying I've got these powers. It is only God and prayer that can help you. And then you teach yourself to stay on that turf. Before you get into this character, try and play back what you have done, say 1, 2, 3, 4 days ago. Try and play back what you have done 1 week ago to stay in this character. When you find yourself going to her, try and play back what you would have done. If you are just going to start creating her, create her in your head immediately. Tell yourself this is what you want to sound like. And then that way you're able to probably play the two. And you can actually marry them somewhere along the line if you're that strong. It's strength.
You make it sound, you make it sound like such a breeze. But really, have you ever had such a moment that made you go, just messed up?
I don't tire. I don't tire.
I can't do this. No, let's start with the I've messed up, and then the I can't do this anymore.
I'm trying to think. I don't think so.
Wow.
I don't think so.
Always been able to do it.
Okay, this is what I say is my own secret now. I pick the script, I read it. I learned something from Femi Brainerd years ago. He said to me, there's this script I got that had this awesome monologue in it, in one of my scenes. So he said, sis, you know what? Because he saw me talking to myself. He said, what's going on? Well, I think we're on an audition, we're on a canopy somewhere. He said, what's going on? You've been mumbling stuff to yourself. And I said, yes, I have this script that wants to kill me. He said, no, just take it easy. He said, you know what you do? Read it every day. You're walking around the house, keep reading your lines. And by the time you now get used to it, drop the script and just say your lines. Just say it. You're cooking, say it. You're bathing, say it. You know? And I said, okay, I'll give it a shot. And it worked, easy peasy. Since then, I have been running on that schedule. Wow. So that's how I've been able to kill all of that when it comes to that kind of load. Now, when it comes to you combining that kind of load with changing character into someone else that is now not speaking proper English, for example, I've never had it.
You know what?
I've never had any issues.
I like how you've been saying, oh, it's so easy, it's so this, because we're about to put you into character now. Okay. I was going to say you should do it with MM, but MM has just said she's struggling to keep in character. So I'm just going to excuse her. I'm going to bring Tokwe in now.
Okay.
Yes. Tokwe is also an actress.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and she's one of us here. So Tokwe is going to be your niece, and then you're going to act as the nosy aunt who wants to know when she will get married.
Okay.
So that's what you're going to do for us now.
Okay.
Come and sit down. What is it? It's such a case. Go and sit down. Just sit there. So you guys can...
Okay. It doesn't have to be strictly English, does it?
No, it doesn't.
No, because you know how it is with those kind of aunties. It's... Okay.
Oh, yeah. 1, 2, 3, action. She's giving you pillow.
Yeah, give her her scenario now. Let her know what she's doing.
No, we've told her.
She's
we told her. What do you need pillow for?
I'm in my auntie's house.
Yes. So you're trying to be a good girl.
Nobody asks you to come.
Yeah, I think.
Undress.
Okay, so for the sake of acting, I won't use Tokwe. Okay. Vivian, how are you?
Fine, thank you, ma'am.
You are fine, thank you. Vivian, we had a discussion last week. You dodged. I remember when last I was looking in your room, I saw you going over the balcony. You still haven't stopped all of this. You still think because I am this slim, lovely girl, I can always do what I want. You're still jumping balconies, you're still jumping bikes, you're still beating men. See that scar? It's still there. Remember that one? And I'm sure there's one other one somewhere that I have not yet seen. Marry Vivian. What's going on? Where's Dimeji? The last time I saw him here, that boy was practically crying. What have you done to him?
I have anger issues. That's what I did to him.
Where is that coming from?
It's coming from you. I watch you. And I watch everything you do to your own husband. So because you have decided to change does not mean that I haven't inherited it from you.
Vivian. 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 I have called you 3 times. Vivian, do what is right for yourself. At 32 years old, you're not getting younger. I give you 10 more years, and then you will realize that you're wasting your own time. Make hay while the sun shines, my dear. A word is enough for the wife.
Cut. That's enough. I had a feeling that this is going to be a movie that will go to.
Wow, I felt that. Now, quickly, before we wrap this up, let's talk about acting. I mean, you have that, you have you're coming from theater, you've done stage play. Is that a criteria for every good actor who's doing TV?
I haven't done so much of theater.
Okay.
And then my background isn't theater. Academically, no. I actually read business administration.
Yeah.
In business admin, I found theater. Okay. So I found theater on campus, and then I started building it from there. Okay. I remember my mom saying, your father said if you continue like this, he's going to chase both of us out of the house.
Oh, wow.
And I said, oh, yeah, really?
It does seem like there's a part of that was showing during the small
yeah.
But you know what? So you can have a feel of what she really is like. Let's take a look at this.
All right. Now we're back in the kitchen and we're welcoming you here. Thank you so much. That was a beautiful, beautiful piece.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And you?
Oh, you not hear me.
Nice one.
Loving it.
Nice one.
Yeah.
Chef Alero has been hard at work here,
Yes.
putting together this amazing yam pepper soup.
Spicy breakfast.
Yam pepper soup.
Yes.
So give us a little brief into how this came about.
I started by putting water on the fire, then I added the pepper soup spice with the dry pepper and a bit of seasoning.
All right.
Then I allowed it to cook. I added the goat's meat because I wanted the goat's meat to cook with the pepper and the pepper soup spice.
And we can smell it. We can smell it, but you're going to taste it.
Been...
You need to taste it. Please go ahead and have a taste quickly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll start with the sauce.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, so what do you think?
Okay. Thank God I eat pepper. This would have been me going ballistics by now. The pepper is just on point as far as I'm concerned. This is fantastic.
Yes.
Oh, I'm glad. I'm glad.
I'll just take a piece of that yam.
I think that's plantain.
Oh, yes, okay, that's plantain.
Yes. This is water for her, please.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, you're in the spirit, Chef Alero. But I only eat soft plantain. And anything harder than this is me choking. So, so far, I've given you an 11/10 already.
Thank you. Fabulous.
That's what we like to hear.
Thanks to everyone that's been a part of the show. And Mary, your last words before we shut down.
In the mighty name of Jesus. This will not be my last words.
Amen. Amen to that.
Don't breathe no fire on her, please.
But seriously, thank you so much for watching today. Thank you so much for being a part of the show.
Yeah.
We can't wait to join the others in the kitchen.
Well, I'm not joining them, but you all have a fabulous day.
Have a great day, everyone.
All right, bye.